Hey guys, Scare9 here and welcome back to my channel today. And recently Bungie brought back one of my favorite game modes in the Destiny universe, Rumble, and there's been some changes just in the first couple of weeks. Most notably, we have gone from 8-man Rumble, where there are 8 people in the entire lobby, down to 6-man Rumble, just because of some feedback and stuff. And in this video, I want to break down my thoughts and opinions, and as well, go over some of your guys' opinions. I put some polls out on Twitter and on the YouTube channel. A lot of you guys answered, over 250 in fact, and I wanted to go ahead, take the most notable comments and kind of differing points of opinions and go over them in this video just to determine once and for all which one of these the community generally likes more. So let's just start off by going over the pros and cons of the one that came first, 8-man Rumble. Now this was way more hectic than anything we had seen in Destiny 1. The maps on average are smaller or about the same size as all of the maps in Destiny 1, so everything was way more hectic to begin with, but then you threw in 2 more people per lobby. It just made this insane. It was much more like mayhem than Rumble. You could pull off amazing plays, but every gunfight pretty much had at least 3 people in it, meaning that you couldn't get on those 1v1s that a lot of people play Rumble for. You know, when I was getting better at the game, I would load into Rumble to learn how to win these duels when it's just me and another player. Unfortunately, 8-man Rumble was a lot more, like I said, running and gunning. You couldn't really focus on one enemy at a time. You had to place your bets, and because of that, I found that 8-man Rumble had a much higher skill gap. Meaning to do well, you pretty much had to be a better player or had to be having a fantastic game. But on the flip side of this, that means that you can't really use this mode to get better because you're not going to learn how to win your duels 1v1 if you're always getting shot in the side. Now, another note I would like to make about 8-man Rumble was that heavy did not seem as prevalent, at least in my experience. It was a lot easier to shut people down because they were always getting shot in the back or the side or something like that. So more times than not, you were team shooting the people with heavy instead of just being shotgun rushed. That does not mean that heavy was not extremely useful in 8-man Rumble. There were Legends of Acreus's main ingredients and stuff like that everywhere. It was just a lot more likely that these people would not be dominating the lobby just because they were camping the heavy spawns. Now, that being said, we can flip over to 6-man Rumble, where the general gameplay was a lot different, if not the complete opposite of what it felt like in 8-man Rumble. It is much more relaxed, however, the spawns are pretty whack. One of the reasons that Bungie got rid of 8-man Rumble and went down to 6 is because everyone was always getting spawn killed. However, in my experience with 6-man Rumble, which is quite substantial during this week, I would still find myself in the spawning animation, looking over and seeing someone else spawning as well, or me running in circles around common spawn points and being able to spawn trap quite effectively. Now, I don't think that necessarily the main problem with the wacky spawns were the number of people in the lobby. Like I said, they seem almost as bad in 6. I think it has something to do with the algorithm. There are very specific points on the map where I can consistently find myself or other people spawning, and that means that there are specific spawn locations. Because there are set spawn locations, this means that it is very easy to learn these and take advantage of them. I think that one thing the spawn algorithm does not take into account is line of sight. There are some maps, such as Emperor's Respite, where very consistently, if you spawn over, say, at the patio side of the map, you know that there is someone that is spawning in looking at your back already. And I think that should be taken into account in the algorithm. I'm not a coder, I don't know how difficult that would be, but I imagine that it's very important, and it couldn't be too difficult to say, you know, if I spawn looking this way, is there an object or an obstruction between me and another player? Like I said, I'm not a game designer, I have almost zero experience with code, but that seems like something that needs to be done, because that is leading to a lot of these situations. In addition, there are some really small maps like Burnout, which was of course Burning Shrine in Destiny 1, that they actually made smaller to bring into Destiny 2, which of course causes more of a cluster. You can spawn trap way more effectively and that kind of thing. Now, in general, 6-man Rumble is much more relaxed. However, the spawns, like I said, could use some work. Bungie has said that they're looking closely at our feedback on the spawn system to see if they can fix it further. Now, it is a lot easier for players who are not as adapted in the Crucible. That's my nice way of saying if you suck at Crucible, you're probably going to do a little bit better in 6-man Rumble than 8-man Rumble. That being said, heavy is much more dominating, at least in my experience once again, in 6-man Rumble, because you have more one-on-one encounters. No longer are these people that are shotgun rushing or using fusion rifles always getting shot in the back before you shoot them. More than likely they're going to be rushing you with full health, making people that actually manage to get vast amount of heavy a substantially bigger threat than an 8-man Rumble. Now, that being said, you can obviously adopt a playstyle to maneuver around the map in such a way where you're never caught around close corners, but that doesn't always eliminate the problem. So If you are not as good of a player, you're probably going to have a little bit more fun in 6-man Rumble because you can camp that heavy a little bit more effectively. You'll be able to actually practice your 1v1 skills, which means that, once again, Rumble was originally my source of getting better at Destiny. You now have this opportunity in 6-man Rumble. It's pretty much the ideal place to get better at Destiny, but because of the way it is set up, just because you are better does not necessarily mean that you will take the win in that lobby. So really, to wrap it all up, in my opinion, I like 6-man Rumble a little bit better. I did enjoy 8-man Rumble quite a bit. However, I feel like that 6-man Rumble is much more balanced. I was having a better time. You can kind of relax a little bit more, you know. You might not win the lobby, but you're still having fun and you're still getting better. And I think that's going to be my overall verdict. Now, I do want to go ahead and jump into some of your guys' feedback and kind of get into what you guys are thinking about the two individual modes. Now, like I said, there were over 250 votes, 81% favored 6-man Rumble, which is absolutely insane. Not even a fifth of the votes, not even 50 votes were for 8-man Rumble, which means the vast majority of people favor 6-man, which is very interesting. Now, I want to go ahead and read some of the people who favor 6-man, and then we will go into the people who favor 8-man and kind of have a discussion based on that. So Cloud Juice says 6-man Rumble is overall better. There are less spawn kills, it's still fast-paced, and 8-man just feels crowded because of the crowdedness. The spawns couldn't really truly be fixed. Now, that's something I have already addressed. I definitely agree. I think that adding more people to the map might have put a larger burden on that spawning algorithm, making it so that we got spawned into some not ideal situations, although the problem wasn't inherently with the number of people on the map. Then Depth the Truth says, although I do like 8-man Rumble, 6-man Rumble is a little more tame. Maybe they should just alternate between 6 and 8-man mode. Now, I don't know if the best mode of action would be to alternate between the two, but it's not necessarily a bad idea. Before I took this poll, I probably would have been a lot more open to it, but now that I see that 4 out of 5 people favor 6-man Rumble, I'm not sure if Bungie would get a very good response if they did alternate between the two. Now, going towards the people who favor the 8-man Rumble, we're going to start with Lupo. I like 8-man Rumble more because of its fast pace, and you have to be more skilled to win, so it encourages playing more. Now, I kind of see where he's coming from here. I definitely liked being challenged myself, but that being said, I'm not necessarily sure if 8-man Rumble is the best way to get better at Destiny. Like I said, in my eyes, the best way to get better is to practice mostly these 1v1s, and you're going to have a much better time practicing that in 6-man Rumble, at least in my opinion. And then the final comment I picked from this video is going to come from Milky Wilkie. I loved 8-man Rumble. I enjoyed never having a moment where I'm not in a fight. The spawns were bad, but now in 6-man Rumble, they still seem horrible. I think they just have to fix the way the spawns work in Rumble, and it will be fine. Once again, I definitely agree with all of that, but I'm really interested to see what you guys think. I've given all my opinions, I've given all the facts. Right now, I'm going to say that 6-man Rumble is a little bit better. More people seem to favor it. It's the perfect ground to get better at Destiny 1, and while it might not be as hectic, and it is not as easy to pull off amazing plays in 6-man Rumble, I definitely think it's better as a whole for the entire Destiny community. So let me know what you guys think down in that comment section below. I am extremely interested to hear your guys' thoughts on this discussion. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like rating and share it with your friends. If you are interested in watching either of the two videos on screen, you can click their respective annotations to be taken to them. If you're brand new to my channel, make sure to hit the giant version of my logo on screen to be subscribed for more awesome Destiny 2 videos and live streams. Thank you guys so much for watching today, and I will see you in my next video.